Long ago, a prophecy foretold of two titans who would both grow to power alongside each other, yet never know of each other's existence, until one faithful day where they would finally clash, and only one would come out the other end standing. Those two titans' names were Super Mario Logan and Super Mario Glitchy 4. The final SMG4 episode has recently released. I'm assuming probably about a month ago by the time you see this. When I wrote this script, it came out yesterday. So it just goes to show how fast I'm making these stupid things. I'll admit, I shed a few tears at the ending, okay? I'm big enough to admit that the Mario Gmod Ragdoll shitpost series made my cold, icy, emotionless heart feel something for once. Damn it. But also, the series finale made me reflect a bit on the channel as a whole, as well as another channel it's been compared to for pretty much its entire lifespan. That channel, of course, being SML. For years now, autistic children with unrestricted internet access have argued which of these two kinda sorta Mario related channels is better than the other one, even though the channels themselves aren't even really all that similar. Yeah, they both have the letters SM in their names, but ultimately, one of these shows started from a place of passion before being corrupted by the greed and selfishness of its creator until it became an unrecognizable husk of what it once was. And the other one's SMG4. SMG4 announced the end of the series right after the release of 2025's Watt Fee, a yearly series that's been a staple of the channel ever since 2011. And then after that, they did like a Matt Pet sort of thing where they spent the next couple months making a bunch of finale videos, one for each of the major characters, give them a nice little send-off. And then, in a move that's really cool in my opinion, they brought back the Said Modnar series for all the random side characters not important enough to get their own dedicated episodes. Yeah, sorry, Wheelchair Koopa, but I don't think you qualify as a main SMG4 character. The final few videos actually also made me feel decently emotional. Before the announcement of the series ending, I hadn't been keeping up with SMG4 for maybe a year or two because I mostly just kind of grew out of the series. Although seeing all of these characters I more or less grew up with to some extent, getting their one final adventure was very sweet. I'm really happy they canonized Chris and Swag. They did like a bubbling type thing. Had to wait till the finale. It honestly shouldn't have come as much of a shock to anyone though that SMG4 was coming to a close. I feel like for a long time it's been more of a matter of when than if. With how large Glitch Productions has gotten in recent years and how much time and energy must go into managing a business of that size, it only makes sense that the Mario shitpost series would begin to become more trouble than it's worth as time passed. Maybe that's a really harsh way to put it, but also I don't think it's really wrong either. I mean, a lot of people point out that as Glitch got larger and took more of Luke and Kevin's focus away from SMG4, the quality of the series began to suffer, probably because there was just less time available to put into the writing and whatnot of the series. I mean, until the ending, Boopkins hadn't had a new line in a fucking year. I haven't even heard Boopkins say anything in 4 months. What the fuck are we to say, dude? But even still, it's clear that there was still some level of passion for every SMG4 video up until the very end. I mean, if there wasn't, it probably would have just silently ended a long time ago, but the fact that even after arguably more important things came along, they still took the time to put out something with some level of quality every single week, keep making full movies, and ended on their own terms just shows that they did genuinely care about this show. Like I said, I stopped watching SMG4 consistently years ago just because again, like I said, just kind of grew out of the series, honestly. When SMG4 started, Luke was only 14, and the videos featured a lot of the signature edgy humor you'd expect coming from a teenager on the internet in the early 2010s. When SMG4 started out, it was more or less just unedited Mario 64 footage with captions, and at the time, yeah, it was pretty funny. And as time went on, Luke's skills as an animator, editor, and machinima artist only improved, and his audience only grew alongside it. I'd say 2013 to 2018 is what many consider to be the golden age of SMG4, and I can agree to an extent. However, I personally wouldn't say that I think what came after was necessarily bad either. After this point, SMG4 became a much more sanitized series. Swear words were censored and a lot more of the raunchy humor was toned back. They stopped joking about rape, take notes Logan. They began doing story arcs, adding original characters, voice acting, and overall it just made the show objectively better year after year. However, they also began aiming their content at a younger and younger demographic every year it seems, which kinda alienated a lot of older fans, which is why many say the show isn't good anymore. Why many say the golden years have passed, why many say the quality has taken such a sharp drop off, but I don't feel like that's entirely true. Sure, you can make the argument that the writing is worse now. That's something I can honestly agree on. Again, I think mainly due to the fact that there's just less time going into it because of glitch. But also, I think it's a little unfair to say the show is just utter dog shit now. At the end of the day, I don't think it's that the show is worse. I think it's that we just all grew out of it. And frankly, so did Luke. I mean, like I said, the start when he was just an edgy teenager, and now he's 26. His sense of humor has probably changed a lot. He probably realized his content is mostly watched by children and decided to pivot to making content a bit more age appropriate for them. Maybe his creative vision just changed as he got older, and thus the type of content he made changed with it. Whatever the reason may be for SMG4 becoming a bit more targeted towards kids, I don't honestly think it's really that bad of a thing. Like, I don't know about you, but if I walk in on some kid watching modern SMG4, I wouldn't really see any issue with it. I mean, there's definitely worse things that kids can watch. Just scroll on YouTube Shorts for like 3 seconds. SMG4's biggest crime is going from an edgy shitpost series to a watered down kid show, and frankly, I don't see that as a huge deal. It's okay sometimes to admit when something you grew up loving isn't for you anymore, okay? You don't need to cling on to the past forever and demand that this show that's evolved beyond you be exactly like what it once was. Besides, the old episodes aren't going anywhere. Unlike a certain other channel. I think it's about time we address the elephant in the room here because, you know, there's someone who I think could learn a lot from the direction SMG4 took. And that person is a man by the name of Logan Austin 30acre, better known as SML.
Super Mario Logan. What is Super Mario Logan?
I'm pretty well known at this point for never shutting the hell up about SML, but I need you guys to all know that my enjoyment of this channel is purely ironic and always has been since I was like 15. I feel like that's fairly obvious to tell just by the way I talk about this series in my videos and on places like fucking Twitter that I don't really like the channel or what it's become, especially in the past couple of years. It feels like Logan took his channel in the exact opposite direction as SMG4 and has only made the videos more and more edgy and offensive as time's gone on for no real reason other than I guess his sense of humor hasn't changed since he was like 14. And don't get me wrong, like I am an enjoyer of humor that is a bit more edgy and crass. Just watch my recent Plush videos, but at the same time, there's a limit to, what I think is acceptable to be joking about so flippantly, and I feel like Logan crosses that line fairly frequently. While SMG4 realized his main audience is kids and took the steps to make something more worthwhile out of their time, SML has made it a running gag for their main character to rape the genie from Aladdin. It's clear that Logan will never learn his lesson, considering his channel has been fully demonetized 3 times now, and he's had to move channels 4 whole times, one of those times being because Nintendo themselves told him to clean up his act, and he just still hasn't. He still makes the same slop he always has, if anything only getting worse and worse with each passing year, and then still cries about the videos getting age restricted or demonetized like he has no clue what he did wrong. And let's not forget about the rampant use of AI on the channel now, and how it's oftentimes used for either just like the simplest shit he could have easily filmed practically, or when it's for something a bit more complex, things that he has shown in the past he has been able to film practically before, but is just too fucking lazy to do now, I guess.
Oh, you want to know who got Braxton's wallet? You're looking at him, baby. Chef got sticky fingers tonight. Slid it right out his pocket smoother than butter on a biscuit. Ha! Look at this. Driver's license, cash, punch cards.
So the proof is in the pudding, you cocky fuck.
So at the end of the day, not gonna use AI anymore because First of all, I've only used it 4 times. And also, I don't want to read the comments anymore. I am never using AI again. The next time I need something insane done, one of you guys in the comments better post your contact info that can do crazy editing. I'm talking master's degree of modeling technology, and for some reason, you didn't get a job at a movie studio.
You know, a few years ago, Logan made a vlog on his girlfriend/wife/baby mama's channel complaining about losing ads, something not uncommon for him at the time, and in it, he mentions SMG4, saying that if YouTube puts strikes on his content because it's using family-friendly Mario characters and making them do non-family-friendly things, then other channels, like SMG4, should also be stricken down.
If you take my channel down and delete all my videos because I'm using Nintendo, then you better take down Game Theory because he uses Mario. You better take down College Humor because they use Mario. You better take down Tito's channel because he used Mario. You better take down every other Plush channel that does Mario because they do Mario. You better take down SMG4. He does nothing but Mario video game visuals.
Logan, if you by some miracle manage to see this video, the reason that your content gets age-gated or demonetized or community guideline strikes, or the reason Nintendo sues you and not SMG4, is because SMG4 actually learned from his past. SMG4 saw how big they were getting, saw the kind of audience these videos pull in, and took measures to clean up their act. SMG4 took their job seriously, took a few steps back, reflected, grew up, and changed for the better. You have shown time and time again that you will never learn your lesson no matter how many times it's blatantly obvious what you're doing wrong. It's wild this video is 7 years old and this all still rings true today. Also, you know, the fact SMG4 isn't talking about fucking every 30 seconds helps. To bring this all back around to what this video is, I guess, supposed to be about, there really is no comparison to be made between SML and SMG4. Sure, both started as edgy Mario series made by a teenager and his older brother before going into larger businesses and ultimately abandoning the Mario characters for original ones, but whereas SML lost all passion for their craft and became this too big to fail slop channel, pumping out the videographic equivalent of shovelware every few days, SMG4, even when faced with bigger and better things, never gave up their integrity, maintained a level of quality Logan could only dream of keeping up until the very end, and went out on a high note. There really never was any competition in the first place. At the end of the day, while I do still find SML the more entertaining series in just a fully ironic sense, I will always have more respect for SMG4, both the creator and the channel. The series isn't for me, and it hasn't been for a long time, but at least its main character isn't a rapist, racist, ableist stereotype that looks like fucking Special Olympics Cartman. But even still, to SMG4, thank you for all the memories over the last 14 years. You're the number one! Yo!
Luigi, I just want to touch you all over your manly chest. Want to bury my face in your breast, Luigi.
What is the most popular video of SML? I think he means SMG4.